Throughout the Bible, God uses the language of family in talking about His people. God is the parent, the father who shows compassion to his children, provides for and disciplines his children, and the mother who gave you birth and comforts her child. God's people are God's children. Christians adopted this imagery early, referring to themselves as the family of believers. John calls Christians children of God, exclaiming, "See what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God." Paul points out that this relationship comes through Christ. So in Christ Jesus, you are all children of God through faith. While there are many ways to think about our relationship to God, each other, and the world at large, we think exploring this concept of the church as family is a particularly powerful and unifying concept for this church. One reason we think that is because of our experience with Carson Reed. About 2 years ago, we asked Carson Reed, who's the director of Abilene Christian's Cyber Institute for Church Ministry, we asked him to advise us about the future direction of this church. We were at an important transitional point because David Hunter had just retired and we were about to begin looking for a new minister. One of the things that Dr. Reed discussed with the elders was the concept of a church life cycle. But most of you probably remember taking part in an appreciative inquiry focus group with Dr. Reed and then taking the church health assessment survey. Both of those tools were designed to give a picture of the church's strengths and weaknesses from the member's perspective. In his report on the appreciative inquiry, Dr. Reed stated, "Human connection, relationship, intimacy, and closeness was the number one value manifested within the interviews. The desire to feel known and loved by others surfaced many times in members' answers. Members wanted to be taken care of and supported. The church was perceived as an extended family unit. Many people spoke of family and home, of belonging and fitting in." Dr. Reed also reported that the focus groups often mentioned Robinson's outreach to the community and the role of the outreach in church life. The church health assessment survey indicated some of the highest agreement among members on items such as support for family, members care for one another, and church treats guests warmly. All of these factors tell us that a central focus of Robinson has always been a family relationship. One could say that it is the defining characteristic of our church.
We've been at Robinson for 31 years, and we have fellowshipped with this family. We have been on mission trips with this family. We've raised our children with this family. We've laughed, we've cried, we've mourned, we've rejoiced. We've baptized our children here. Family is really, really important to us, and the church family here at Robinson meets that need of being the family that we need to have.
I spent my teenage years here at Robinson, and then I went off to college, and it only made sense when my husband and I moved back to the area to come back to family. And having a family of our own now, we've seen a lot of extra hands and support in raising our own kids, and lots of prayers and loving cards, just all sorts of outpourings of love.
In 2014, at just 1 month old, Gabe was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, a progressive genetic disease that causes persistent lung infections, limiting the ability to breathe over time. In people with CF, a defective gene causes a thick, sticky buildup of mucus in the lungs, pancreas, and other organs. As a result, Gabe has undergone surgery twice and has endured 2 extended hospital stays in his life to this point. Even on the best of days, Gabe eats a special diet and must participate in breathing treatments.
When he's in the hospital, it's the massive outpour of love towards him and towards us, and the support we get spiritually and financially, and whenever we're at the hospital and that kind of stuff. There's always somebody there for us whenever we need it, especially even when we don't need to ask. It always just seems somebody in the congregation knows when we need that the most, and that's what family is.
So what if we took this defining characteristic that already exists among us and intentionally applied it to all aspects of our lives together?
And family is really, really important, and that's been a very important thing for my family, to have such a close-knit church that encourages us and spurs us on to be the type of people that God will want us to be.
Our plan is to build on that strength, to renew our purpose at Robinson so that we can become the church that God is calling us to be.